Materials and Methods at the LabTech Animal Research Center of Mississippi State University. 6 ruminally cannulated steers, 266 plus minus 36.9 kilogram. Angus Hanford, Charolais individually received ad libitum access to hay, 70% Bermuda grass and 30% Dolly grass mixture. The basal hay diet was supplemented at 1.5% body weight with either cracked corn, pelleted soybean hulls, or both corn and soybean hulls, pelleted soybean hulls and 25% cracked corn. Then 19-day periods from August until November. Each period began with 14 days adoption phase followed by a 5 days collection phase. Steers were transferred to individual store 3 days before data collection. Supplements were fed daily at 800 hours, followed by ad libitum access to Bermuda grass hay. Hay offered to each steer was first weighed for calculation of individual hay intake. Supplement remaining after 30 minutes was added to the rumen via fistula. Hay and supplements offered and hay oats were sampled and composited by period, with oats also being composited by steers. Oats The dog ate the oats of the table. Oats. Hay and supplements offered and hay oats were sampled and composited by period, with oats also being composited by steer. Each morning, total fecal collections were mixed and weighed, remaining 5% liquids. Fecal samples were dried in a forced air oven at 70 degrees Celsius for 48 hours and composited by steer, treatment, and period. On day 3 of collection periods, ruminal fluids were sampled at 800 hours, just before supplementation, and every 2 hours thereafter for the next 8 hours. To obtain a homogeneous sample. Ruminal fluid was collected by sampling ruminal contents from 4 to 5 locations within the rumen, followed by filtering contents through 4 layers of cheesecloth. Samples were immediately placed on ice. After chilling, pH was determined using thermal-Orion combination meter. luminal fluid was subsampled and centrifuged. Supernatant was retained acidified 5:1 and phosphoric acid containing 2-ethyl butyric acid intended as an internal standard for VFA analysis. Samples remained on ice until they were frozen. With VFA analysis, frozen luminal fluid was a thawed and handshaken. Thawed. For VFA's analysis, frozen luminal fluid was thawed. Thawed sample, 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 and handshaken. 5 mm subsamples were then centrifuged. Supernatant was analyzed for VFA using combination gas chromatography and mass spectrophotometry based on procedures described by Grigsby. And the temperature gradient program described by Bateman et al. Helium was the carrier gas. Helium was carrier gas with an injection flow rate of 60 mm per minute. Luminal NH3N was analyzed using luminal fluid samples containing 2-ethyl butyric acid. Samples were fed vortexed and centrifuged, followed by analysis using the direct colorimetric method described by McCullough. Samples were incubated at 91% humidity, 5% CO2, and 36 degrees Celsius for at least 35 minutes before colorimetric method described by Macaulay. Samples were incubated at 91% humidity, 5% CO2, and 37 degrees Celsius for at least 35 minutes before colorimetric analysis. Preliminary data indicated a need to revise the procedure of Macaulay such that samples were not deprotonated before NH3N determination. Deprotonated samples.